Hello daily drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft. As you can see, we will not be drafting Ixalan today, but rather Khans of Tarkir, my first ever quotation marks Khans of Tarkir draft. Stick with me here. I got a little bit to get through to let you know what's going on here on the channel before we get into today's draft. Monday and Fridays over the next probably 4 or 5 weeks, I plan on drafting Khans of Tarkir here on the channel. They give us probably 8 to 10 total Khans drafts, and Wednesdays will still be Ixalan drafts for you Ixalan lovers, going all the way up until Karlov in February. So that is the channel plan. Now, when it comes to Khans of Tarkir draft, I'm going to preface something for you all. I have never drafted Khans of Tarkir prior to about 1 hour ago. Prior to this draft, I did one practice draft of this, and I did not have time to make an archetype guide for the set. The set came out in 2014. It is a re-release of this set here on MTG Arena, and a fan favorite. I figured I'd give you some Khans of Tarkir drafts content here on the channel. So, with that in mind, I am open to comments in the comments section from those willing to let myself and others become better at Khans of Tarkir drafts. But keep in mind that I have, once again, never drafted this set before. I haven't read basically any of the rares. I do understand that it is a wedge-based set, kind of like Streets of New Capenna, but with the other 5 wedges that we have here. It's a little bit slower of a set. I understand the mechanics and everything, but I'm going to be doing a lot of reading here today in the draft. You guys might be a step ahead of me for those of you that have drafted this before. Again, this is my very first one. Just put on the lenses of your first ever Khans drafts and draft with me here. But you get to see what it's like to have a drafter like myself who drafts a ton kind of explore what is going to be a new format for me and one that I know a lot of people like. So hopefully that goes well for you all. Again, comment section is open. Please be nice, as you might be commenting from a perspective that I do not have yet, as you have drafted this many more times than me. So thanks for your consideration on that. And without further ado, I will see you in today's Pack 1, Pick 1. All right, here we are, and we've got a lot of reading to get through today, so let's take a look. Rakshasa Vizier. 5 mana, 4/4. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your graveyard, put that many +1/+1 counters on the Vizier. So this probably has to do with Delve. Delve is a... here you go. Delve. Destroy target creature. Murderous Cut. Speaking of, that seems like a pretty good card in here. In my practice drafts, I've also noticed that the cards are... how do I say, bad? Like, look, Debilitating Injury, probably one of the better removal spells in the set, and it is just a strictly worse deadweight. 2 mana instead of 1 mana. What else do we have here? Teamer, Charger, Murderous Cut, what's this one? 3 mana, 2/1 flyer. When it's turn face up, you gain 2 life, and to unmorph it, you have to reveal a white card from your hand. I think I'm going to go with the Murderous Cut here. It keeps us open, and staying open in these 3 wedge sets is always pretty nice. It's also, I mean, just getting Delve cards is also just good. I think Delve is very good. I've never played with Delve. I don't play Eternal format, so I've never played it, but it seems like it's just all upside, like kind of a broken escape or something. What else do we have here? X mana remove, or 1 mana, remove X/1/1 counters from among creatures. Target creature gets -X/-X. Obviously a build around. Probably not worth taking here. I think Delve is going to get worse in multiples, so I don't think we're going to take too many more. There is a Throttle, which is just a bad removal spell in today's limited, but again, probably good. Burn Away. There's some lands here, but none of them touch black, which makes me a little bit worried. There's a Dreadmaw, 5 mana, 4/4 Defender. The black-green cares about toughness matters, I think, in here. I guess I take Throttle? Could just take a land. I would probably take a land here if one of them touched black, but they didn't. Another Retribution of the Ancients. No thanks. Lens of Clarity seems like the most unplayable of unplayable artifacts I've ever seen. Windscarred Crag. What is this one? 3 mana, deals 1 to each creature. If you control creature power 4 or greater, they can't block. 5 mana, 5/2 with Morph. Kirin, Hate Blade. Feed the Clan, another completely wildly unplayable card. Disdainful Stroke, sure. I've found Winterflame to be pretty good. 3 mana, tap a creature, and deal 2 damage to a creature. That's not bad. There is Sultai Scavenger, but again, I don't know how many Delve cards we're actually going to want here. I think I'm actually just going to take the land. I know that there's these gain lands in most colors here, and I think they're pretty important in this set. What do we got? Another land. Which one is this? Let's see. 6 mana 4/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can pay 3. If you do, return a creature card at random from your graveyard to the battlefield. Flying, Trample, Haste. Exile it. At the beginning of your end step, and if it dies, you exile it somewhere too. That seems good. And we're already touching black here. Mardu War Shrieker. 4 mana 3/3 when it ETBs if you attack this turn. With Raid, you get 3 mana. Unfortunately, red-black is not really one of the supported color pairs as much. So what's important in this set is to make sure you stay within Golgari, Boros, Izzet, Orzhov, and or Simic to kind of like keep your options open while you kind of toy around with what is open at the table. So let's see what we've got here. What is this one? Creature gives a creature Defender, equips for 3, and you can tap. Give other creatures +X/+X, where X is the creature's power. That seems so incredibly slow. Rakshasa's Secret, I've heard, is actually pretty good. Naturalize, Dragon Scale, Boon. Guess I could just take another land here? And maybe we hedge toward like Mardu or something? Trying to figure it out. Okay, Sultai Soothsayer. 5 mana 2/5 when ETBs, look at the top 4, put 1 in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. That does help with Delve. 5 mana 4/4 Defender, sack another creature, gain life equals to its toughness. I think this is one of the worst Delve cards. 3/5 Death Touch. Woolly Loxodon seems interesting, actually. I mean, it's a 3 mana 2/2, and at some point for 6 mana, you can make it a 6/7. There's also the Soothsayer, though. We don't have the right lands for this whole Sultai plan or this green-black plan here, but look at this. Just a hard-to-cast vanilla 4 mana 4/3. Like, how are these cards exciting? Okay. We're seeing some green here. All creatures able to block target creature do so. It gets indestructible if you have Ferocious. Search your library to 3 basic lands, put them in your hand, and shuffle. That seems horrible. Highland Game, 2 mana 2/1 when it dies, you gain 2. I might be fine. Trades with Morphs. And a 3 mana 4/2 Alpine Grizzly. There's also a Swift Kick here. Look at this. 4 mana instant +1/+0 and fight. Like, gosh. These cards are so bad for someone who hasn't been drafting for 9 years. It's kind of wild to see. What is this one? 4 mana 1/4 lifelink with Morph. There's another Highland Game and another Woolly Loxodon, notably. Do we want the 2-drop? Or the super expensive one here? If this were a land that touched black or green, I would probably take it, but it does not. I guess I take the Highland Game. Have to make sure my curve is somewhat respectable. Currently is not. Look at that. The Rakshasa Vizier came back anyway. There's also the Archer's Parapet. 2 mana 0/5 Defender, and it drains them. I mean, I think this format is relatively slow. And this is a way to just put up the barrier. This is just vanilla. Like, that doesn't seem... It's hard to cast vanilla 4/4. Doesn't seem very good. 5 mana 4/4 Defender, sack a creature, gain life. As opposed to put 4 mana, 2 counters on a creature and untap it. Gosh, you can get this for 2 mana nowadays. I guess I'll cut the black card here. Yeah, the blue cards don't seem good. The Retribution Wield, Feed the Clan Wield, but that's unplayable. Lens is unplayable. 5 cards of creature land into your hand, rest in the graveyard. I mean, that's the most playable card in the pack, I guess? So instant bounce a creature. If you control a creature power 4 or greater, draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Surveil 5 for 2 mana. Whenever you cast a non-creature, pay 1. If you do, tap target creature and then it doesn't untap. It's an enchantment though. I wish it was a creature. Alright, what else can we find? Planeswalkers are probably good. 5 mana 4 loyalty. End of turn. Becomes a legendary 4/4 flying indestructible haste. Holy cow. Deals 4 damage to target creature. Can we play red? What else is here? 4 mana creatures get +1/+0 whenever a warrior. So I think black-white is the warriors deck here. That's probably not us. That seems not great. There is a Scoured Barrens, but we don't have white. Green-red isn't really one of the supported colors, and black-red isn't really one of the supported colors. But this is by far and away the best card in this pack. There's a Goblin Slide, too. I guess I take Sarkhan and see if we can make that work? Windstorm kills flyers. No. Alpine Grizzly, 3 mana, 4/2. There's a Treasure Cruise. Delve. Draws cards. A Flying Morph. A 4/5 Morph. A Strictly Worst Quick Study. We do have some Mardu fixing to help cast the dragon if we go black-white, potentially? I kind of hate all these cards, though. If we do go black-white, we could potentially splash the charm. This seems like a pretty good charm, though. Let's take the charm here. Okay, what do you do? That's the one we already read about, right? Yeah, so that's the Sultai Lich Lord. 2 mana, Flying First Strike Haste. It's a 1/2. There's another Throttle. Another Alpine Grizzly. 2/1 Flyer. +3/+3 and Trample. We just got this exact card for 2 mana in Ixalan. Power creep, am I right? I guess we'll take the Lich Lord, and I don't know what we're doing about Sarkhan, but we have a decent little kind of green-black base going here. What is Dune Blast? Oh my gosh. Okay. Choose up to 1 creature, destroy the rest. Why are all of our lands in this one? What is this one now? Create an XX black and green spirit warrior creature token where X is the greatest toughness among creatures you control. No, that's very... It's just a vanilla creature. That could be a 0/0. Doom Blast seems good, though. Yeah, we need to find the right colored lands here. So let's take the... Now we have the right colored land in Blossoming Sands. What are we passing up on? All creatures get -2/-2. 6 mana, 6/6 Trample Hexproof Morph. Well, that's pretty good, too. Why does this have to be in the same pack as the Blossoming Sands? Alright, Sarkhan, I'm not sure you're going to make the cut. Gosh, I need the Blossoming Sands so badly to cast the cards I already have. Okay, what do you do? 5 mana, 5/9 Island Walk. Whenever it attacks, exile it, return to the battlefield. Tap an attack in the beginning of the declare attacker step on your next turn. That is a weird line of text that I don't think is very good. What? No. There's another Blossoming Sands, though. 4 mana, 3/4. Whenever a creature you control with power, toughness... With toughness 4 or greater dies, you gain 4. That seems okay, actually. But I'm going to take the Blossoming Sands so we can cast Dune Blast. Beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 2. That is a whole lot of do nothing. There's another Woolly Loxodon. 2 mana 2/2 that lets you look at face down creatures. And then another Sultai Flare. Look at our curve. Look how bad this is. So I'm thinking of myself as black-green splashing maybe blue and or white. So let's take the Sultai Flare here. 6 mana 3/4 flyer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw. If you do discard, it has Morph. There's a Woolly Loxodon. I guess I'll take that. This doesn't seem great. I would like more fixing. That's a beating. Abzan Guide. I mean, I don't think we need Attendance or Kin Warden. So let's take the Abzan Guide here. And I'm looking for fixing quite a bit in the last pack. I guess we could play an Alpine Grizzly. I guess we could play another one. I guess we could play a third one. Yeah, Kintree Invocation doesn't seem good. 6 mana 6/5. With a whole lot of flavor text. This set is underpowered. Look at all of this. These are kind of 3-drops. That's kind of a 3-drop. This is pretty good with the Woolly Loxodons. You know, you play this, you trade it off, you play the Lich Lord later, and then it comes back and attacks. Like, it's pretty good. Let's find some fixing here. Or what do you do? 1 mana 2/1, can't block. Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield only if you attacked this turn. Well, the lands are not... There's a Sultai Banner. Do we care that much about fixing to play the banners? I don't... Well, we do have a lot of 5-drops, so going from 3 to 5 would be pretty good for us. Maybe the banner's playable? Like, we're not very aggressive. I could probably wheel this banner, though. No, we need Dismal Backwater. I'm dumb. We're trying to play these Lich Lords, which I think we are? I don't know. We might. Sultai Ascendancy, no thank you. Another Loxodon. Another Murderous Cut. Our second Delve Carver. I think that'll be good. Hooting Mandrills, Woolly Loxodon. I think I'll take another Murderous Cut here. We don't have a lot of synergy with this deck. Like, we just have cards. Target player, oh my god, 10 mana. Does have Delve, but we already have 2 good Delve removal spells. I don't think we need a third Delve card here. Sidisi's Pet, that might just be good enough. Archer also has Morph. This one has Reach too. There's a Caves and a Cove, which are not really the two we're looking for. The Cove kind of helps splash the white and the blue a little bit, but I guess I'll take the Archer here. This is an incredibly slow deck. Okay, no fixing here. 5 mana 4/4. Another 3 mana 4/2. These are just going to be trading with their 3 mana 2/2 morphs, basically. This Parapet's going to have to go a long way for us. Gosh, this deck is something here. Two mana 2/2 gets +2/+2 and regenerated. I mean, it seems okay. There's a Swarm of Bloodflies, the wrong colored land, and a Delve 4/4 here. Let's take the 2-drop. And there we go, Jungle Hollow. That's what we're looking for. What are we passing up on? Smoke Teller, Tusked Colossodon. Sure, let's take the Jungle Hollow. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter has reach, and it also has outlast. We're not really a +1/+1 counter deck. I think we'll take Rakshas's Secret. This card actually seems kind of good in this slow format here. Gosh, do we want another Grizzly, a 5-mana morph? I think we could play a Tranquil Cove to help us splash these cards. Is this a legendary? No. How many creatures do we have? 17 creatures. Oh, hello. 4-mana 2/3, has Outlast, Delve, 5-mana 2/8. Probably not playing anything there. Hooting Mandrills, maybe? All creatures able to block this do so. That creature gains indestructible. It's kind of like removal. I don't think it's great, though. Could play a Sidisi's Pet, depending on what our deck is doing here. Alright, well that was a confusing draft. These 3-color sets are interesting, to say the least, especially when you don't really know what's going on. So let's see how we're going to build this here. I think we're base black-green, splashing a couple white and a couple of blue cards, with a few sources for each. We have 3 blue right now, and 1, 2, 3, 4 white for 2 blue pips and 3 white pips here. This is 41 cards. I'm probably not putting anything else in. We don't need any red mana. We didn't really make Sarkhan work. So let's put all of our morphs kind of over here. So these are all kind of like 3 drops in a way. 4 Alpine Grizzlies, huh? Maybe that's just a plan. You could just beat them down. You know, you draw all this stuff in an Alpine Grizzly, just hit them for 4 every turn. Maybe that works. So we have 3-mana 4/2s in the same deck with 4-mana 1/4s. Everything about my 2023 limited mind is telling me this deck is just horrible. And you know what? It might be horrible. But, I don't know. We got Doom Blast. That's good. We got Lich Lords. That might be good. We got Murderous Cuts, which are fine. We got a Throttle. Do we need some reach protection in the form of the Archer? Probably. Sidisi's Pet does synergize with the Sultai Flare here. You know what? I'm going to cut an Alpine Grizzly. I mean, what are we even doing here? We need 17 lands for all of our sources here. We have 3 blue sources for the Lich Lord, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 white sources for an Abzan Charm, an Abzan Guide, and a Dune Blast. And then we have 5, 6, 7, 8 green, and 5, 6, 7 black. All right, who knows if this is any good? Not me. See you in game 1. Okay, so 3 cards in our hand cost 5 mana or more, but require black. We have a 3-drop here. There's no morphs in our hand. We have 17 lands and like a ton of morphs we can draw. As I understand, the format is pretty slow, so keeping hands like this is... Could you imagine keeping a hand like this in LCI? Like, you would be dead. Granted, we might still just die here, but, I mean... There we go. Never didn't have it. Look at us just gaining life. We're perfect. The next turn, we'd play an Alpine Grizzly or a Morph if we draw one. That's a Morph. The Morph can't block the Jeskai student, so let's just play the Alpine Grizzly and planned trade, I guess. I don't think we're going to be the beatdown here. So this tells me they don't have an instant. Well, I mean, they could. Yeah, I get 3 mana for 3 mana and a card for a card. Okay, that's fine. This seems pretty good. Like, it counts itself too, so if this dies, you just gain 4 life. And it also counts if any of your other big fat creatures die. Like, that all just seems quite good. I'm gonna play the Dreadmaw so that next turn I could morph in secret here. I don't trust your shenanigans with prowess. Three 1/1s. 5 mana instant? Okay. That gums up the board for sure. Alright, so we drew a tap land. I wonder if we can blow them out with Throttle here, if they go for some sort of tricky business. Oh, this thing has Defender. That's so bad. It's such a bad card. Okay, no blocks. So do I just play a 2/5 reach here? Or do I get some cards out of their hand? I think I'm just going to play... play the creature. I feel like we're having a poke war. Like, we just play these dumb creatures that don't do anything, and eventually someone wins. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Good! I didn't really care about that thing anyway. So, good for you. I guess they can block the archer with the student, so maybe I shouldn't have attacked there, but... yeah, I guess I can just do this. They have a bunch of big creatures, I guess, because they haven't made land drops, and they also don't have any plays. So what do they have? A Naturalize and a Throttle. Okay. So they can't cast the black. Sagu Archer. Ooh, what do you do? Doesn't hit any of them. 2+1/+1 counters among 2 creatures. Draw a card and lose 2 life. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. That's probably the mode we're choosing here. But we could always use Throttle to get down this archer. Try to poke through. Okay. So we need to kill this. It's going to be a 1/1, which means we do this here. or a 1 toughness creature. So wanted to be able to get through the archer. That's a big fat creature. They do have an instant now, though. And we potentially don't have a way to interact with that if it gets too big. We do have Dune Blast as backup here, so we can just play the Tusk Colossodon, and if they have a creature next turn, we can Dune Blast and keep this. Okay. I guess we'll just play a 6 mana 6/5. Doesn't even have trample. What a shame. Now our 6 mana cards are like 7/7s that gain 2 life and scry 2 and or all sorts of things like that. So alright, or we could just keep playing big fat creatures. They're at 7 and they have to prove they can do something about my board right now. What does that give? +6/+6. Wow. Okay. Sure. I guess I can unmorph that at instant speed and hit him for 6. Suppose that's how that works. Alright, well, they didn't really, like, do anything. And we just, like, cast a couple of derpy creatures and managed to win. Okay. Alright, we have all of our colors here. We have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. Some card draw. The deck is perfect. It's +2/+2 until end of turn. You can also regenerate it. Okay. It's pretty good for the late game. Ah, they have their own 2/2, I see. I'll pay 2 mana to trade for that. Didn't think so. Fear my 4 mana 2/2 that trades with your 2 mana 2/1 and gains you 2 life. 4 mana 4/2. I might have said 3/2. Ah, these supported Bant color pairs here. Alright. Do we trade Grizzly for Highland Game? I mean, we don't really have anything better to do. Okay. I mean, I guess I could use the Charm at instant speed to make this a 6/4. That would be a huge problem. Now they have to figure out a way to deal with the 6/4. If we draw land, we have removal. Okay, they're missing land drops. We're also not really doing much. But we have 2 creatures on the board, they don't, so advantage us. What is their response? Bounce it to my hand? What a jerk. Siege Rhino. I've heard this one's very good. ETBs, each opponent loses 3, you gain 3. And it's got trample, and I can't attack into it. So that all feels pretty bad. Is that a rare? Of course it's a rare. The good old Siege Rhino. Wasn't that like an all-star of Standard in 2014 or something? I mean, it's a good card. It's a great card in Limited, too. Another Highland game. Do they want to trade Siege Rhino for 2 of my creatures? Man, I would like to, you know, also maybe draw lands, but, you know, maybe not. Time to gum up the board. Okay. So it does tell you which face down permanent this is up there in the top left, which one they place. Goodness. All right. How about no more lands? Ha. Eat my archer's parapet. Guess if we keep missing land drops, we can keep draining them. That's something we can do. This also blocks Siege Rhino. Archer's Parapet blocks Siege Rhino. Let's go. I'm not sure I like the guessing game of morphs. You know, one thing about Magic is that, like, the only unknown information is the cards in their hand, and when you put cards on the board that also have unknown information, it just kind of, like, could potentially lead to feel-bads. I mean, I haven't played with Morph a lot, so... Like, if they attack with the Morph, like, do I block with the Highland game? Do I block with one of my Morphs? Like, I don't know the answer to that question. Guess I'm passing. See if they flip one of their morphs here. Nope, they just chose not to. Like, I don't know the morph cards in this. That is a rare that is probably really good. Yeah, that's really good. And I can't kill it, because Throttle gives -4/-4. Okay. Exile X cards from your graveyard gets -2/-2. Okay, well. That's going to be tough to beat. Don't have any creatures there yet. This does technically block that, so there is that going for us, I guess. Could just play a 6-mana 6/5. I could or I could flip up my Loxodon here. No attacks. Play a 6/5, I guess. And then see what to do about this Necropolis Fiend. Don't know what these are, but I guess I'm supposed to... No, I can't attack here, because this becomes a 4/3 with Necropolis Fiend, so it dies to Siege Rhino. But then I could throttle the Siege Rhino. Is that worth it? Maybe? Let's force some action here. I don't know what people have. Oh, this doesn't have to be just once per turn. For some reason I was thinking that was once per turn, but I can activate that twice. Make it a 6/6. It's notable. I'm assuming they're going to Necropolis Fiend here to shrink it, and then I plan to throttle in response. Sure. Go to damage, and we are in for the long haul here. We do have the Woolly Loxodon, now that that thing's off the battlefield. I mean, we've got a decent little setup of creatures here. This blocks that. This attacks, this attacks, this attacks. Okay, yeah, that happens. I can't do anything about that. Alright, I guess we'll see if they have a combat trick here. Or if they're just trading. Alright, we managed to get rid of that thing. Okay, now I have like literally no idea what to do. I don't know what the common play pattern is when they have morphs that they can unmorph here. I mean, I guess I can attack with this and probably that too, because this can regenerate itself if things go poorly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I couldn't regenerate and do this. Well, I also couldn't flip this and do that, so I guess we'll just attack with our Loxodon. And I think I plan on flipping it unless they don't block. If they don't block, then I guess I'll play this. Okay. Sure. See what you got. Reveal your hand. What turned on the river? Was this poker? Who's got the best bluff? They're just going to kill our Loxodon now that they saw what we have? An 06. Revealing. Exiles the top X cards of the library, cast any number of spells. Villainous Wealth. Without paying their mana costs? Excuse me? That's ridiculous. That seems, absolutely broken. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can do this for 6. Oh my god. They kill a creature, they get a 4/2, they get a 4/4 that can reanimate things, they get a 4/4 with... Oh my god. That was That card's not fair. We're just sitting here playing derpy magic, and you cast a villainous wealth. I guess GG. That flipped quick, didn't it? Got rid of all our good cards, too. Now they get to start reanimating their stuff. So Necropolis Fiend has haste. Siege Rhino drains. Man. Okay. What do we have? Loxodon, Colossadon, Archer. Why did they do that? Flying Trample Haste 0/6? They're gonna sacrifice it or something? Oh, yes they are. I'm using my card. Thank you very much. So they go to 29. All right. This draft is going to take 3 hours. Forgot the banners could sacrifice themselves too. Well, what are we waiting for? The board wipe, I guess? Yes, I will pay. Go to combat, attack with it, and then attack here? No. Yeah, just there. Oh, I forgot. I said earlier, why did they choose that? I forgot it's random. Here comes the Fiend. They have 4 cards in the yard, so they can kill basically anything. They can kill our Lich Lord, which is annoying. Now they don't have the mana to do so. Unless they draw an untapped land, which they very well could have. Does this have reach? Why does this not have reach? Also, like, what is this thing doing? just chilling? Just chilling as a 2/2 that they never want to flip? Alright, take 4. Yeah, we're just waiting for the board wipe here. Can't even remember what it's called. But we can actually regenerate this, choose a different creature, and then board wipe. We keep 2 creatures there. Oh my gosh. Just going on forever. Do have it on a 27 turn clock though. So there is that. I suppose we do have another Murderous Cut in the deck that cares about Delve, but we have so much mana it doesn't really matter anymore. Yeah, we are losing this race against the Lich Lord that they stole from us here. That is the last creature in their yard, though. We have a Woolly Loxodon left. this combo. We have this combo in our deck. And they stole it from us. 33, you say? Is there a way to come back from that? We will see. Okay, go get some basics, I guess. We got one more Woolly Loxodon to get here. I don't really, as long as we don't have the board wipe, I don't really want to give them more creatures in their yards, so pass it back. And we are now also out of creatures. Sure. Bunch of morphs, I guess. Again, we just need our board wipe. And really hope it's not like one of the last cards in the deck here. I guess I could have attacked with this and then threatened to give it +2/+2 and regenerate it. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because they had a 4/5. I just would have wasted my mana and tapped it, basically. Shockingly, we have only found 2 swamps. Oh, there's a couple of black sources there. Does someone deck first here, maybe? Alright, they do have an archer in the yard now for the Lich Lord. Gonna have to watch out on math here. Oh my gosh, that gains them another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gains them 20 life whenever we do eventually board wipe. Oh my goodness. We might die before then, so we need it in like the next 2 cards here, basically. Doesn't have trample, does it? Nope. Okay, so I can do this. So we have 3 lands left in our last cards here. So that's a 1/4 lifelink. Yeah, 3 lands left. And the board wipe's somewhere in there. They chose not to get back their archer. We might just be, like, dead on board here really quickly. That is a way to kill us quick. Alright, so we need to find an answer like NOW. Because next turn they animate that thing, they ping us down, they Might have to send in our Highland Games for some life here. Yeah, I figured that was going to be something big, but we kind of needed the life a little bit. Because our only out is the board wipe at this point. We just have to find it. Nope. Oh, I guess it doesn't actually gain life, does it? Yeah, because it exiled. Whoops. Doesn't matter that much, but... Also, why did that tap another black? That was really annoying. Not the end of the world, but it did tap another black there for us. So we got 3 creatures that can gain us a bunch of life if it dies. So they're going to hit us for 5. We go to 6. We're technically at 5 because of that. Now we're at 3. So I think we got one more turn to find it here. Their Villainous Wealth didn't hit it, did it? No. Yep, so it's got to be our top card basically right now. They have 4 cards left in deck. Doesn't it just 3 mana to deal 2 to their face? So they don't really need to do that. Okay, maybe that saves us somehow? So that's 8 mana to unmorph. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So then I still have 3 mana left over to do something here. No, we're dead because of the parapet here. But maybe they get overzealous and try to attack with more than just that. So let's do this and see if they attack with more than just the abomination here. And then we can gain some life. Sure. We had an out to this for like 15 turns here and we never drew it, so... So if they attack with the Abomination and nothing else, we officially lose. Okay, we're not dead. Not dead. Unless they have instant speed removal, then we are dead. So... go to blockers. This is our last turn to live here, so we're gonna make all kinds of chumps that gain us a ton of life. And then hope they don't have instant speed removal. Does that do it? Green, white, black. Okay. Yeah, that also does it. Forgot about the card that they stole from us. Because now this doesn't deal damage anymore. Alright. Yeah, that was a stupid game that wasn't particularly fun. Alright, well, talk about a slow format. Tap land, morph. Seems like a common theme of the format. Let's hope we don't get run over too much. What order do we do this in? I don't know. Land sequencing, right? Currently, we don't have any priority for what color we put down. So let's get black down here. Next turn we play either of these and morph. Following turn we play backwater. Because we have Lich Lord here, I think I will choose to just trade these morphs off. I mean, I could put 2 counters on this, but I'd kind of rather use this for card draw or removal. Sure. What do we get? A 3/3 first strike. Okay. And then another morph. Can I not even cast Abzan Charm? Okay, well that was a mistake in sequencing. So, talked about sequencing lands and then went and did it wrong. Played a island for some reason. So white, black, white, green, black. Alright, I guess I gotta do this to hold up Murderous Cut and Abzan Charm and then screw myself on future land drops. But here we are. Playing a Dreadmaw next turn, I guess. Dreadmaw's a really nice combo with the Lich Lord, as we saw our opponent just have. And I think I'll draw 2. There's Dune Blast. And Abzan Guide. 5 mana. I don't think we need to morph it. Oh, it's 6 mana. Okay. So then we just do this. Okay, can't have that combo anymore. Did they have another one? Oh, a rare. Counter target spell. Exile it. Cast the card without paying its mana cost for as long as it remains exiled. Wait, what? What? How stupid is that? That is so dumb. Okay. Guess we play Lich Lord, take 7, and then Dune Blast next turn? Jeez, that's a card. There are some busted rares in this set. For playing a 5-mana 4/4 defender, you know, we have played against some insane rares. Dig through time. What does that do? Top 7, put 2 into their hand, taking 7. We have to Dune Blast basically right now. I guess we could just Murderous Cut next turn. That way we take 10 total. We go to 4. No, I'm not gonna do that. So I think I need to Murderous Cut now. Because they've already proven to have some counterspell stuff going on. So let's see if they try to overextend a little bit here, that we can Dune Blast, save our Lich Lord, and kill their entire board. Really hope they don't just pass it back. That would be pretty annoying. That's exactly what they did. Four cards in hand? I mean, they're going to counter this, and then tap this, and then hit me for 3 and do the same thing next turn, I guess. That's the saddest Dune Blast I've ever seen. But yeah, I told you they would counter it, tap this, hit us down to 2, and then tap our next creature too. Well, that didn't go very well. This card. Our nice one got countered. What does that do? 4 damage to me, and then I die? Alright. Let's go to the next one then. Alright, well, look at this curve. Not really close to casting the charm, but we've got Highland Game into Alpine Grizzly into beating him down here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, Forest is about the last thing I needed. Flying and a first strike. Okay. Getting the Gurmag Swiftwing beats on here. can't block. Okay, and then an 0-4. Do I Abzan Charm down their ancestor here? Is that worth it? That doesn't seem worth it. Because I could give this... Well, I mean, that does give this 2+1/+1 counters. And then I have a 4-3 and a 4-2. And they missed a land drop? No. Did they miss a land drop or did I go first? I can't even remember. Yeah, let's take that down and get a 4-3 and a 4-2, and now they are under pressure. Got a 2-5 reach coming. They have a morph that trades with our Grizzly. And I guess that's something I'm doing here. It was a 5-3, so how do I do this now? Do I just play a 2-5 reach? Or play this so I can unmorph it next turn? I think I'm just gonna play this. Don't know if that's right. Weird sequencing there. Tough to figure that out. That's a 3-3 flyer. That's a dead 3-3 flyer. And then we'll play the Loxodon, which we can unmorph next turn with all the mana we have. They're at 6. That's a 4-4, okay. That could be a 3-4 first strike, which would be pretty good against the Highland game here. Yeah, that's what I thought they would do. So what if I do this and then they block here? I unmorph it, I kill this, they take 2, and I lose my Highland game. That actually seems okay. Or they bounce it and then they die. Yeah, there's some ways they could die here. Okay, so I'm left with a Loxodon. They go to 4. We lose our Highland game, but that's okay. We have a 6-7. Okay, they have a 4-4 again. They have an instant. Or they're just playing with me here. So they can kill the Loxodon here. Obviously, otherwise they wouldn't make this block, or they're dead. So this is down, so or they're just dead. Okay. Sure. All right, we go forced. We go forced again. I was reading the word morph and said forced. We've got a morph, we've got a morph, and we've got a removal spell. Don't have blue, but we do have black and green. Also don't have white, but again, we do just have morphs here. Hello there. Maybe we'll get to you, maybe we won't. We will see. Um, don't know which one to do there. I did this one because it's the most expensive. Um, I mean, you should always just trade off morphs, I guess, right? I mean, unless you have one of those busted rare ones. Now, I did it this way this time, so I can unmorph that for 2 next turn, and if I draw a land, I can also play Highland Game. That's the reason I did it that way. Specifically leaving up 1 island. I don't know what's in the set to blow me out of this here. But clearly it's something. I would be willing to trade. Yeah, that's also just fine with me, I guess. Morph battle. The battle of the 3 mana 2/2s. How dorky is this set? Okay. Let's just play an Alpine Grizzly here. That threatens to trade, but they're probably going to be attacking with that. They've got 6 mana, so they can do a lot of things here. Yep. Still don't know why this doesn't have reach. I probably have to Murderous Cut this thing, but I could probably wait 1 turn, because this blocks the Stalker now. No, that's dying now. Yeah. Now we have to find an answer to this one. In quick order here. By an answer, I mean we're still 3 turns away from this, even if we hit a land every turn here. So missing some land drops, definitely going to come back to hurt us here, obviously, as it always does. This isn't even good on this board anymore. It's a 4/4. They have a 4/5. So we're on a 4-turn clock right now. Alright, another 5/4 flying. Oh, that just means we're dead next turn. Yeah, that pretty much just did it. Alright, well we went 2-3 in our first cons draft here. The deck was horrible. I mean, I don't know if this deck is meant to succeed in this format, but it was pretty trash if you ask me. Yeah, they just played flyers and beat us. And then in the second game, we just like stalled, and then they played a flyer and beat us. And then in the like we had a board wipe, but never really did anything. And in the other one we lost, they just countered everything we did and beat us. So, for all you out there that say cons is like the GOAT format, I might have to have a word with you. Maybe it's because I'm looking at this format through the lens of 2023, but do you guys enjoy playing 3 mana 2/2s? Do you enjoy playing hard to cast 4 mana 4/3s with no other text, or 6 mana 6/5s with no other text? I mean, it's just kind of very underpowered, but I don't know. We'll see if my tune changes over the next several drafts of the set. Still going to have at least 7 or 8 more here. So thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time and on Monday for your next Cons Daily Draft.